The Highrise Assult. Aiko crouched atop the towering high-rise, her sleek black suit melding with the shadows. The Tokyo skyline glimmered beneath her, its lights reflecting the coldness in her heart. Her target, Sato Kimura, lounged on the 30th floor, oblivious to the storm approaching. Aiko was a shadow in the night, cursed with a dangerous gift. One kiss from her lips would swell her victim's body until they burst into a spectacular explosion of magical energy. It was a weapon, one she wielded with lethal precision, even though each use made her feel further detached from humanity. The first guard was stationed on the balcony, her sharp eyes scanning the city below. Aiko descended silently, her feet touching the railing with a grace that defied gravity. Before the woman could react, Aiko closed the distance between them, her gloved hand tilting the guard's chin upward. Their lips met briefly, almost tenderly, before Aiko pulled back and vanished into the shadows. The guard gasped, clutching her stomach as it began to swell. Panic set in as her abdomen expanded, skin taut and shiny under the moonlight. Within moments, her body ballooned impossibly large, and with a muffled cry, she erupted into a burst of golden light, leaving behind nothing but a faint shimmer in the air. Aiko slipped through the glass doors, her heart steady despite the cacophony of emotions swirling within her. The apartment was lavish yet sterile, filled with faint lavender scents that couldn't mask the tension in the air. She crept through the hallways, her steps light and deliberate. 2 guards rounded the corner, their boots clicking on the marble floor. Aiko struck swiftly, disarming the first with a flick of her wrist. As the second lunged, Aiko caught her by the wrist, twisting her arm behind her back. Aiko leaned in, her lips brushing against the woman's cheek before finding their mark. The guard froze, her body trembling as the curse took hold. Aiko stepped back, watching dispassionately as the woman's belly began to swell, her uniform straining against the growing mass. She screamed, but the sound was cut short as her entire body inflated, rounding out like a grotesque balloon. Her partner stared in horror, too shocked to move as the inevitable happened. The guard exploded in a dazzling flash of energy, the force sending her companion sprawling. Aiko didn't give her a chance to recover. Another kiss sealed her fate, and soon the hallway was silent once more, save for the faint hum of residual magic. The penthouse guards were better prepared, their movements coordinated and precise. Aiko weaved through their attacks, her body a blur of motion. She dodged a strike, using the momentum to spin behind one assailant. Her lips found the side of the woman's neck, and Aiko whispered an apology as the curse activated. The guard stumbled back, her body beginning to swell. The others hesitated, their eyes widening as their comrade ballooned before them. "Run," Aiko said coldly, but none of them moved. Moments later, the room was filled with a deafening burst of light, the guards reduced to nothing more than shimmering particles. When Aiko finally reached the penthouse, Sato Kimura was waiting. The businesswoman stood by the window, her reflection distorted in the glass. "You've caused quite the mess," Sato said, her tone calm yet venomous. "I've heard of you, Aiko. The cursed assassin." She turned, a faint smirk tugging at her lips. "Do you think your curse scares me?" Aiko didn't respond. She moved with the same deadly grace she always did, closing the distance in a heartbeat. Sato was fast but not fast enough. Aiko's hand caught her wrist, pulling her close. Their faces were inches apart as Aiko spoke, her voice low and filled with resolve. Their lips met in a brief, deadly kiss. Sato staggered back, her confidence crumbling as her stomach began to swell. "No, this isn't possible," she gasped, clawing at her clothes as her body expanded uncontrollably. Aiko watched, her face impassive as Sato's form grew larger, rounder, and impossibly full. The air crackled with energy as the curse reached its peak, and with a brilliant explosion of golden light, Sato was gone. Aiko stood alone in the aftermath, the penthouse eerily silent. The weight of her curse pressed down on her as she stepped toward the shattered window, the cool night breeze brushing against her face. Below, the city glittered as if nothing had happened, indifferent to the chaos she had unleashed. She vanished into the shadows, her burden heavier than ever, but her mission complete.